Hey, field agents. I'm going to try to do a live demonstration of when I'm hitting the trap house, me and him both making adjustments, and how it plays out, and how do you decide what adjustments to make, and it's not random. So let's dig into it. I'll show you what's already happened, and then I'll do it live with you. I'll tell you the decisions we're making, and then I'll show you what happens. Long as he doesn't shield up. Shit. He done shielded up. Maybe he'll unshield. Let me show you what happened, and we'll see if he unshields. Okay. So I was creeping some points. Okay. We're just going to do... Okay. So, first of all, grab your scout report. We got mount. He's not fully gold. He's got 2 golds. Looks like 2 either strong purples or weak gold or yellows. Or, you know what I mean. Defense is solid. You got 1 7. You got 2 7s, a 4, and a set. Three of them are solid. He's got a 14. These are pretty solid with the 16 on the top. And 3 solid numbers on the bottom and 1 lacking. So that we're doable here. He's running battle tested. So we don't have to worry about the Iron Curtain. Mount speed, mount troop attack. So he's a candidate for the range tags. But he's got 800,000 of them. Maybe not full, because he is all numbers. He doesn't have enough siege layers for me to do the siege attack on the traps, which that's what I usually like to do. But when you count it up, I mean, he had like 20,000, 50,000, 200. It wouldn't really be worth me sending a 400,000 siege hit on him to try to nab out his 800,000. So we have to do the range hit if we're going to do anything on this. Look at the opposition. It's going to be the ground. So he's got 515, 5, and then he gets 1,000,000 at the 13s, which 13s for defense is really your strongest thing. 13s for defense is what 12s is for your offense. And then he drops back 250, 500, 500. Okay, 500. Alright, so that's what we're dealing with. Then take that back down to reading this. Enemy range attack is 250. Enemy range HP is 75. So we found the weak spot. I mean, so this is going to work. What's his ground attack is 1,025. We're looking at 11. There's his ground attack. So after plotting this, we go into our first encounter with him. Which, I lost this, but I went 80 million server points. So I was losing this, but if you notice, server points is done by kills and not by... So that's where the T1s are. T1s are good for full attacks. You lose points attacking on full attacks. But when you break down and do partial attacks, well, server rewards higher points for kills versus wounded. Because it's Ebony is a business. The business is the life stones. So they reward the opposition player for kills. That's why server points, you know. So anyway, you got to kill to heal. I don't know how many points I made or lost, but I know the difference was 80 million. So I took it and no, that was off of the one before this. I don't know what the difference was. I know I went positive. Okay. The one before this was equal. Right here. 136 to 170. I made 80 million points on this. I know that for a fact because I was interested in it. Because it was even points. So I'm unsure exactly how many points this was, but I know it was positive. And so we take we'll see how it turned out. So as predicted, so I threw a little bit of meat in there. You know, I usually do my 22s, but because it was thin, I threw a little meat in the first attack. The ground kill death was poor. Range did well. Mount did poor. Siege did great, or good. Ground was poor. Because you just don't have enough volume. You don't get enough volume. Even no matter how buffs you got. 2,000 guys ain't really going to go into 500 well. I like, alright, range did well. The mount did positive. Siege did well. Ground again did poor. Range did well. Siege did good. The ground went positive on T12s. Remember what I told y'all? T13s for defense is what T12s is for offense. So even though it was 2,000, they still pulled out a win. And range did good here. Mount still sucked. Siege. The ground pulled out another win at the 11 mark. Alright, so range. And then I start skipping down. And I put my meat of the attack starting at the 9s. 800,000 yielded a lot. The 2 million. So that did well. That did well. That did well. Okay. So we was a little bit off, but we see that the ground and mount on the very top did poorly. He did full heals. Yeah, I scouted on. He just healed back his setup. He had a setup he was going by. He healed it back. And I noticed it by the ground went back to 515 or 513, which was what his original was. So I made an adjustment. And the adjustment was going by the last thing. I took out what had the poor kill to death ratios. That's what I told y'all. I have to read these damn reports. The ground had poor kill to death, so I wiped it. But I did not want to lose. Even though it did pour, I still had to throw it in there to have that line, that battle line. Because when his ground and my ground met, my range and siege was still attacking that line, because that's how the mechanics work. So, range did great. Got rid of that mount that did suck. The siege, I didn't put enough. I messed that up. I didn't drop my zeros behind the 140. Ground wiped it. Range did good. Siege good. I ain't gonna say it. Y'all know what it is. So, and that was off of reading one report to next. Now what I did do, I noticed that on the bottom did really well, so I blew it out just a little bit. And I added 9 and 8s, doing big. We're still doing positive down here at the 6. Five did not do, these did not do positive. So I know that his numbers, whatever, starting at 6, no, starting at 5, his numbers took it above my percents. And a further match, I would cut it off at the 5 to be 22. If you read, by reading the report and knowing what to read. That's how you can read this. Without whatever, you can tell his percents to my numbers, or my numbers, my percents to his numbers. When you go from this 6 to this 5, the benefit shifts into his field, and I begin losing. Okay. Yeah. So my next attack on him, I would cut it off at the 6. And I maybe would even, according to this, if I want to do a blowout attack, I'd say, okay, 200 yielded 1.7. That's a 14. That's a 7-time return. But down here, 9 return 39. 900 gave me 39, which is 4 point something. The best 100 gave me 4.5. The sweet spot on this guy would be running a T10, pulling the T10s out and going thick on the T10s, and seeing how that turned out. So I really would like to do one more attack on them. I would leave everything, but I think I would go 1 million T10s and just take the risk and see what I did with it. Like we got somebody here interested. Alright, I'm gonna pause it and well, without pausing it, Now this guy, he's got 100, 100, 140, 2. He has a little bit more siege than the last one, but he still doesn't have enough. But he has enough it might cause an issue. He's got reinforcements. I don't. No, I'm not. You see, you can't do it. If you got a ground T1 trap, if you're not doing siege, you can't do range if they got a reinforcement. So right there, if he wanted server points, he just disqualified himself from getting anybody to play with them. Only the idiots will. Because now I'm going to share this report, and I'm going to tell my server, do not hit this. We'll lose. Okay. We'll see y'all. I hope, I hate traps, because they're detrimental to me when I go out on a killing frenzy and don't look. I hope this breakdown on how to hit a trap and gets through to somebody, and start punishing them a little bit. We'll see y'all.